Scotty C got this one.
It was your blood that saved me.
Put this blood on your doorpost, we bout to get redeemed. Take this thing, walk like Christ, put these shoes on your feet. It's the Father Passover, make sure Christ in me. One in the greatest light, the thing you that's that light indeed. This blood in your life, so we gon' get eternal. Keep on crying, he sending pledge, how that mean he urge you. When you stay on this narrow, they gon' try to carry you. Bear this burden with your cross, I but we gon' serve you. That blood atoning for our sins, fight this good fight. Without that blood, ain't no remission, know this book right. How he did us out of Egypt, Romans 5 and 9. By that blood, the only reason why we took flight. Eat that flesh, drink his blood, put that life in you. Eat this man to drink this water, you got Christ in you. When you follow the king, they put that knife in you. We sacrifice, take a loss, and hope they might win you. By his blood begins into his presence. The high priest at the door in the heavens. We gon' follow the shepherd, ain't no neglect. Heaven gates got our name like we Kevin. We want your spirit to enter these temples. I want your ruach to hit me like cymbals. All by your blood, we felt your love. Abba, don't leave us, we can't get enough.
It's his blood that's preventing this nation from going straight from Genesis to Revelation, he showed the way. You ain't gotta lose to every temptation that come your way. If you sin, then repent, then facing another day. I could feel his eyes on me, the evil thing that I'm praying. I ain't never claimed to be perfect, but let me say, I will overcome, I'm saying this with my faith. And I'm supposed to be here, my existence ain't no mistake, okay? Prayer be our weapon now, trying to go that extra mile. Gotta keep that hedge around, we big dogs stepping now. Tic-tac-toes on my demons had the X amount. Money this, money that, don't let money stress you out. Your bread might decrease when you finally take the left and out. Punchline so plush, Christ is the only plug. His death showed you love, then he rose, now we trust. Sin can't hold us cuss.
It was your blood that saved me. It was your blood that saved me.
Scotty C got this one.
It was your blood that saved me.
Yeah. From Rome to Corinth, delicious. Hear me, my blood on. Yeah. I've been locked in chains, but my pen's still free. Writing from a cell, but my heart still sees. Every son of Jacob lost overseas. Speaking foreign tongues, but you're still my seed. They calling you Greece, they calling you strange, but I know your roots, I remember your names. Benjamin blood still pumping my veins. Same promise spoken, just hidden in pain. I see you in culture, draped in the lies. Worshipping forms, losing your signs, but you still Israel, don't let them divide. What God made holy before space and time. I know you forgot who you are, but the covenant never broke. Scattered like stars in the dark, still written deep in your soul. I'm writing letters to the family, lost tribes scattered through the land. Neither Jew nor Greek in vanity. Same blood, same promise, same plan. I'm calling you home, remember me? Children of Jacob understand. I'm talking to Israel only, still held inside your hand. Yeah, still family, don't forget who you are. When I said Gentiles, I wasn't talking strangers. I was calling kin, living under Eliezer's. Hellenized minds, but the blood's still sacred. Just Israelites living in different languages. I know Rome taught you to think you changed. I know Babylon taught you shame, but the law still echoes in your veins. Grace ain't erased it, it restored your name. I walked Damascus, I saw the light. Same God of Abraham opened my sight. I preach Messiah, not new religion, just fulfillment of ancient tradition. I'm not breaking what was written, I'm revealing what was missing. Same tree, different branches, still chosen, still his. I'm writing letters to the family, lost tribes scattered through the land. Neither Jew nor Greek in vanity, same blood, same promise, same plan. I'm calling you home, remember me? Children of Jacob understand. I'm talking to Israel only, still held inside your hand. Still family, don't forget who you are. You've been called everything but who you are. Given labels taken far, but a seal still marks your heart. Even when you drift apart, I rebuke lies, not the law. Faith don't cancel who you are. Messiah came for the lost, sheep of Israel near and far.
This is family business, not replacement. Restoration.
I'm writing letters to the
Hearts inside, woman, let me ride. Oh, baby, here it goes.
Kosala.
I've been looking for feel good, it's still hood. Fresh, leaving no prints like Uncle Phil would. I feel it under my chest, I'm getting further from death. I see his water protecting me like the shield would. Lot of rain, keep the feel good. We gotta bang just to feel good. They bang the set, keep a drumstick tucked to the chest. And them symbols, just a symbol for the love for the metal. Glitter with bezels, find Nirvana in a speaker. And my love for the ghetto, builders dilapidated bass, rattle trunk with the treble. At the corner we would try to be rebels, cussing loud, smoking papers. Who'd have thought of these devils? Had us under their clutches, guess the score wasn't settled. We the prey, so we praying in the hood, but we patiently waiting. Say the Shema when I rise, keep me away from the Satan. Put your spirit on my mind, give a song for salvation. Yeah, the sun brighter when I hear your quotes. I feel lighter when I hear your notes. This a melody for everyone with felonies. Know you still got hope. I said you still got hope. The sun brighter when I hear your quotes. I feel lighter when I hear your notes. This a melody for everyone with felonies. Know you still got hope. I said you still got hope. Rise and shine, put your makeup on. Baby girl, why you take so long? Had a vision of an angel, I forgot how she looked. Cause I saw you and my brain clicked on. Now I sing this song, yep. Rise and shine, get your makeup on. Baby girl, why you take so long? Had a vision of an angel, I forgot how she looked. Cause I saw you and my brain clicked on. Now I sing this song, Yeah, like Lottie Dottie got the spirit riding shoddy with me. She a baddie, take her to parties with me. Help me focus on my studies, and we always see the darkest secrets. We read at night when the Father teaching. We keep it light, trying to brighten the night, even though stress is mounting. Had encounters on the devil's mountain. Felt the trouble when I stepped in the door, and I should have never doubted. He sent an angel, and I felt his power, still got hope. The sun brighter when I hear your quotes. I feel lighter when I hear your notes. This a melody for everyone with felonies. Know you still got hope. I said you still got hope. The sun brighter when I hear your quotes. I feel lighter when I hear your notes. This a melody for everyone with felonies. Know you still got hope. I said you still got hope. On that day, then every nation and kindred would take a bow before the Lamb and come and learn from the Spirit. It don't matter what you witnessed before. If you're living, then you still got hope. Yeah. On that day, every nation and kindred would take a bow before the Lamb and come and learn from the Spirit. It don't matter what they witnessed before. If you're living, then you still got hope. Yeah. It's brought around over here on this table. We want to make sure that everybody can line up and just get through smoothly. Put the plates, the forks, all that, line all that up. Hold on real quick. Move the tables over around the side like that. Yeah, because we got to make sure the walkway is clear for people to get through to the front. And then when we line up and do the prayers, we're probably going to like have everybody come around this way. And then we'll have Adawan Kanal do the prayers on that side. They'll start from the left and come all the way down.
Out in my ride, so much on my mind, just trying to catch a vibe. Thinking about my people, it seems they all blind. They thinking they know the truth, but no, not up to 12. Try. Some say we a nation that's built up on tribulation. Some say we was taken and put in this situation. I say honestly, man, it's a little bit of both. Just take it from a nigga who parents native and Haitian. White folks stole my people's land, but we gon' take it back, cause the most I put the power in our hands. Yeah, we going straight reprimand, cause the people did us dirty and never got punished. From here to France, they out here preaching peace, but to us ain't none given. Convince us to protest, but disregard how we living. Well, soon y'all gon' know how we feeling. Yeah, how Shy's coming back to prove to you that you ain't been forgiven. I'ma break it to you now that with this joint ain't no hook. The aristocrats on the mic pushing them words like a book. I'm anointed and I'm a saint and I got these niggas shook. I'm a Danite prince of the power and I can't be forsook. I think it's unfortunate that y'all couldn't face the facts. You so confused, you can't seem to break down Romans and Acts. When I teach, y'all got me losing all of my patience. Hear the word Israelite and then it turns to Galatians. Honestly, y'all need to do some investigating. My people acknowledge but still fighting for education. Broke them shackles off of my mind and set me free. Now, Father, y'all got me thinking immortal relation. Try and wake y'all up, but you suckers being complacent. Shot that nigga in the street, but how you grew up's adjacent. Take a nigga life for a little bit of wealth just to spend that shit and move back into your mama's basement. Now you become a Muslim so that your life don't get taken. Boy, assalamu alaikum, bean pies, green eggs and bacon. Allah just a title, not the name of the Most High. You a Israelite, soon to be seeing revelation. Hey, now they saying the prince is lyrical. I'm ruling this thing, but it ain't nothing empirical. Yahweh shots at the comforter, got me feeling spiritual. Yasha Allah on the rise, I ain't even hit the pinnacle. Hey, y'all know ain't too many better than I start varsity on this mic, I even got a letterman. Skills, concrete, solid, I ain't talking settlement. Reppin' the anointed house, man, you know we killing it. Hey, this time around, y'all better get a ticket. This youngin' hit a bomb like the 96 Olympics. Mess with the men of the Lord, might end up in the clinic. We taking the kingdom soon, 1 hour, 0 minutes.
Ain't been on in a minute. Shalom, shalom, everybody. Welcome back to another Milk Monday. Glad to see everybody here. We got a few people in the room already. This is the Anointed House of Saints. Now, well, you know, we just came off of our Feast of Passover. We had a wonderful time. I hope everybody had a wonderful time. I enjoyed seeing everybody, families and friends and brothers and sisters. We just had a great time in North Carolina. Salute to those who helped with everything, the cooking, the cleaning, the gathering, the fun. Everything was just a wonderful time. So salute to everybody. Just want to say that first. But welcome back to another Milk Monday. Let me go ahead and bring Cap on up real quick. There he is. Shalom, Cap. Shalom. Yabashim Shabrakatah.
Shalom. Habashim Shabrakatah. And we're still in Passover, by the way.
Yes, that's why I said the feast that we held. Try to make sure I said that at least. Go back and see. But hey, we want to thank everybody for being here again. Today's class or tonight's class, it's going to be something you may be familiar with, but you know, as the children of Israel, we need to be reminded. So Captain gonna go over a few things, breaking down, you know what I'm saying, giving some breakdown on this topic. Tonight's class is called Grafting in Breakdown. Milk Monday is gonna give you the breakdown of the best breakdown you'll ever even hear. It's gonna come from right here. You're gonna see it happen live. All right. We need y'all to first though, get your Bibles, get your notepads so you can write down precepts, you know what I'm saying, go over this this lesson. And before we get anything like really started, let's first give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai. I want to thank everybody for always at least participating with AHOS. For those who are not able to attend the feast that we had in North Carolina, as the captain said, the Passover is still going on. We hope that you had a wonderful time wherever you were, you know what I'm saying, celebrating the Passover. So let me first, before Cap comes back on, let me go ahead and give some shout outs to those who are here this evening. First up, I see is Corey Robinson. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom. Shalom to Mother Johanna. Shalom. Shalom to Success's Journey. Shalom to Ak Moshe. Shalom. Shalom. Been a minute. Shalom to Anthony Brewington. Shalom to you, King. Shalom to the Mighty Tank. It's Azariah Gunn. Shalom, King. Shalom to the Mighty Soldier Nadia. Got to see that brother. Hadn't seen him in a minute. Got to see him down in North Carolina. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom to the lovely sister Chosi. Shalom, sis. Yo, Ak of Rectitude. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom to the lovely sis Sky Anderson. That's the house of Nadia. Shalom. Shalom to Captain Kadar Aharon out in Texas. Shalom to you, King. Shalom. Let's see who else we got on here on this. Ramonica Wade. Shalom to you. Long time no see. Shalom to you too. And your family, all right? So I don't really have any announcements other than any brother who may want to do the work with Anointed House of Saints, you can do so by sending us your interest through email at anointedhos@gmail.com. If you would like to become a part of the prospect phase, put in the description, prospect phase, leave your name, number, city, and state where you're from. We'll get that information to you when our next prospect phase comes together. We put that together. Also, sisters, we have a sisters ministry brewing. If any sister wants to be a part of AHOS Sisters Ministry, do the same. Send us your email or send us your interest through email, anointedhos@gmail.com, and we'll get that information also to you as to when those things will be starting up. All right. But I don't have anything else, I don't think. So, Cap, you got it.
All right, cool. Well, once again, I want to start by giving all honor and praise to the Most High Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. That is the Most High in the name of his son Yahweh Shai, who were ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right?
That's right.
So we know that you fake Christians just had your Easter. I guess shout out to y'all. We, of course, we're doing Pesach, the thing that the Messiah and his people kept. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the real Christians, that is. But yeah, that's what you should be doing in this time. Ours is gonna be going on until Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday. So like, yeah, you know, continue to have the feast, continue to enjoy your feast of unleavened bread. And yeah, we should be having a closing lesson this week too. So y'all just stay tuned for that. And if you miss it, y'all gotta excuse me, I'm coming under the weather a little bit, looks like. And I'm about to take this thing out of my background because it's starting to piss me off already.
You always got them problems with the background, man.
It's the pictures and stuff in the back and everything. Way my camera's set up back here. I need to fix all of that. So
You need to put some headphones on, because when you put something on, it kind of, I don't know, it does something where it don't do all that.
oh well, it is what it is. So but yeah. Main thing is that we got a lesson, right, on the grafting in. Reason why is because, you know, y'all Christians, it's like you. But Christians are always talking about Christ, right? Easter. So they're trying to, you know, make it seem like, I had a conversation with some guys at my job. They were trying to make it seem like we killed Christ. So just wanted to kind of bring this in because they were like, you know, y'all killed Christ, so that allows us to be able to come in. So I was just like, okay, it's time to do this lesson again. So here we are, right? These type of foundational lessons, it being milk and the class being Milk Monday, this is stuff that you can't ever do too much, especially when the views on the class are the way they are now, stuff like that. So, you know, it's not really I bet if I asked some of the guys in our class or in our school some questions on you know, the grafting in, a lot of y'all wouldn't be able to answer some of the questions I would ask you, right? No offense to you guys. It's not that we're not doing what we should be doing. It's just that, you know, there's a lack of dedication, not just from brothers in our specific organization, but all around Israel, right? It's an issue that Israelites have in general. So these are classes we're going to continue to have to do, because if we don't do them, brothers are going to continue to not know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? For the ones that do want to be diligent and continue to study and be put in a situation where they could actually teach other people what's going on, these are the type of classes that you want to be on for, right? Those history classes that we did last week that nobody watched. That's the type of stuff you want to be on for, because it gives you information that other people aren't going to get. Other camps aren't going to be teaching. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all like the camp videos. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's interesting. It's entertaining. You know, 90% of Israelites that watch the videos on YouTube don't teach. So makes sense as to why y'all only like the, you know, the
debate,
the rah-rah stuff. I'm not even
Yeah.
going to say debate, because they don't like debate if it's just educational. They like debate if it's rah-rah, stupid nigga versus Israelite. That's all Israelites.
That's how I see it
So-
when it goes that way. But yeah,
So yeah, it's not educational. Half of the shit that the niggas y'all like to see debate on is not even educational stuff. It's not anything you'd win a scholastic debate on, which is why they don't debate any scholastic people, right? They've had one scholastic person that they've debated, and it was Michael Brown. And if you ask me, he shouldn't be a doctor. He's just one because he's white. So that's just that. But everybody else that's in the community of people that debate Israelites are never on a scholastic level. Reason why is because we don't typically debate things that are scholastic level. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wouldn't have conversations on the Peloponnesian War. Y'all wouldn't have conversations on the stuff we're talking about with Dan and the Greeks and all that type of stuff, right? So this is just also going to be stuff that adds to that conversation. Because if y'all haven't realized, I'm doing all my classes to gear up for something that me and Panah and Ariala and the brothers on our side, Yawasop, are doing to make sure that Israel understands the Greek civilization and how it ties in with Israelites and the tribe of Dan and tribe of Asher and the tribe of Simeon and the tribe of Issachar, along with Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? So how to see peoples are us and all that stuff, which is going to lead to what we'll talk about today, with there being no difference between Jew nor Greek, right? Something they talk about a lot in the church, but something 99% of you Israelites still don't understand the true meaning of today. And it's because of the videos like we made last week. You guys don't watch them, right? When I see can y'all hear me?
okay. I thought it was me, and now I can hear you. You kind of froze for a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I froze, but y'all can hear me. All right? It's straight.
Yeah,
I can
but
hear
you
I'm
cut.
just
But
asking, can
you,
hear me?
yeah, but you cut off, so I don't.
Yeah, I'll repeat. I just want to
Okay.
make sure y'all can hear me now. That's all it froze. Just want
Got
to
it.
make sure I'm back. All right. But I was saying, people, Israelites typically don't watch the classes like what we did last week. Y'all don't watch the classes like we did on Panah's video. Y'all don't watch the classes we did on Dan till everybody wants to know about it, right? That's when y'all start hitting me up. Hey, where's that Dan night video y'all did? Nigga, we did 5. Which one you want? We did 6. Are you gonna watch all 6 of them? No. Well, then don't ask me shit. Stop sending me messages because it doesn't make sense for y'all to ask about one video when we did 6 of them, right? So it's videos like this, right? There's gonna be things I say in this video some of you won't understand because you didn't watch my other videos, right? I'm not gonna go and send them to you. This is a channel, it's public, just like all the other channels you go to. Get your lazy behind on the video, right? On the channel, click the actual channel, right? Go to the live video section and scroll down until you see the videos that you haven't seen. That's what you do on other channels. Do the same thing here, right? If you don't like it, continue to not watch the videos that you're not watching. Doesn't make me no never mind, right? Because you're already not watching them. So I don't care. The point is, we're making these videos for people that actually want to learn historical information on the Bible, that want to learn how it ties in with us as actual people, right? Because a lot of you Israelites claim to be Israelites, but you don't have any historical proof that black people were actually over there. You just go off of stuff you hear on YouTube videos. So I'm trying to give you guys proof and information and things you can use to prove we were actually the people over there, right? Not just stuff you regurgitate from Nathaniel and IUIC and Ash on Fridays. You need a little in the classroom videos, right? We're trying to give you information that you can actually use, stuff you can research. So when they have the phraseology in the New Testament, like there's no difference between Jew nor Greek, and it's in the book multiple times, and then Christians have used it to make a whole doctrine out of it, to try to tie themselves into the Bible. But then brothers like me and Panah and Yawasop, Ariala are making videos over and over and over again to try to give you guys the context of that and the truth behind it and the information regarding it, right? To where it actually comes from. A lot of you don't want to see that stuff. So, you know, I just had to go on the little ramble because it's not irritating to me that you don't want to watch it. It's irritating that you don't want to watch it, but you still want me to give you the information. I'm not going to continue to do that. And the other brothers shouldn't either. Panah and them, right? Yeah, brothers should watch the videos because we're taking hours out of our day to research this stuff and then to make it for you guys. So the same vigor and, veracity that you guys go out there and try to watch the camp videos where we're cussing white people out and stuff and cussing our own people out that don't want to follow the Bible. Like y'all should be just as eager to watch the videos that are telling you how to trace your history instead of calling me talking about, hey, can you help me do a history search? No, nigga. Watch the video. It'll show you how I did it, and then you do the same thing. That's literally how this works. It's a copycat game. So copy the cat, my Negro. Okay? So that is the spill. Let's get into the build. Give me Acts chapter 22 and verse 1, knock. It's not going to be no video with this class. It's just going to be straight Bible, right? Because when I go find a video for y'all to watch, y'all don't watch the video that we're doing the video on. So we're just going to teach the Bible tonight. If y'all catch what we're saying, great. If you need a visual, what you like representation, but you don't have one tonight, oh well. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way we rocking. And that's going to be the way it goes for a little bit. Because, again, it gets a little tiresome making videos and then people don't watch them. And then y'all ask me questions later like we didn't make the video on the stuff that y'all asking me the questions about. So, Acts 22 and 1. Read that.
God. It's the book of Acts chapter 22 and verse 1. Men, brethren, and fathers, hear ye my defense, which I make now unto you. And when they heard that he spake in the Hebrew tongue to them, they kept the more silence. And he saith, I am verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, yet brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel.
So look, I want everybody to realize the places he's talking about he's from aren't in Israel.
Right.
He's from the Aegean, the place that we've been doing these videos on. Paul, right?
Yep.
He's letting these people know because the people he's around are also from the Aegean, right? That's the prophet he was meant to be, prophet to the Gentiles. Him being a man known as the prophet to the Gentiles, it needs to be understood. Once again, the reason we're doing these videos on the Aegean and the Peloponnesian and, the sea peoples is to get you ignorant Israelites to understand who these Gentiles are, okay? These are Israelite people. Him being a man that was prophet to the Gentiles, he's a prophet to Israelites that are living as Gentiles. Are they Israelites just living as Gentiles, like, you know, carried into dumb idols as they were led, as it says in the Bible? Yeah, but there's another aspect to it as well, right? There's a little bit more. There's a deeper nuance to it, where these people are literally like, you know, Greek. They're little Greeks too, like they're Israelites and Greeks. You know, the same way Knock is from Indiana, so he's an American, but he's also an Israelite, right? I'm from Atlanta. I'm an American, but I'm also an Israelite. So Paul is from Tarshish. He's a Greek, but he's also a Benjamite. And he explains this and expresses it through the Bible. But this is a fact that Israelites, you ignorant niggas, have not mentioned and nor explained to your congregations, which is why when we talk the stuff that we talk and we're proving it, y'all don't know what we're talking about and want to argue with us until you see what we're talking about. And then you want to call us on the side and be like, hey, so can you give me a special video about da-da-da? It's too many of y'all doing that, right? If you was in my camp, yeah, got no problem, right? When a brother like Yakum Yah asked me to do a video and hit him up, I'm going, yeah, like, but when one of you niggas from SOT, I'm not with y'all no more. One of you dudes from IUIC, you got to get Nathaniel's permission. So it just make more sense for y'all to watch the damn video because everything I'm going to tell you is there, right? It's right there. It's right there. Yamashara Yasharala brothers, watch the video. You don't need to call me a Panah to find out what we talk about. We talked about what we talking about in the 5, 7, 12 videos we done did. So just, and then you can ask us questions, right? Don't the Bible say to try to learn the truth, right? Examine the whole thing before you like, can you get that in Sirach for me? Hold on a second, y'all. Sirach 11:7.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 11. No, hold on. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 11, and verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first, and then rebuke.
So y'all are supposed to understand what brothers are saying before you even ask questions, right? Rebuke is correction. In order to correct, sometimes you gotta ask things because a lot of y'all think y'all be right about stuff y'all don't know nothing about. So instead of us asking questions like, yo, so how are we Greek? But it says in the Bible that Alexander was also a Greek from Kittim. Well, nigga, we explained that in the video, you duck monkey. Okay, we explained it. If you would have watched it, I wouldn't have to call you that. But I'm calling you that because you ain't watch it. But then you asking me the question without doing what the Bible says. Examining what I taught and then asking some questions. Because you might not have had a question after you actually watched the video. Right? So, you know, yeah, there might be some things that are said tonight in this video that y'all don't understand because you haven't followed what we've been teaching. But all we've been teaching for the last year, at least all I've been teaching for the last year, has been proof as to how the Greeks are actually Israelites. And that the white people, that you ignorant black folks that call yourself Israelites think are Greeks, are actually Edomites that stole the name Greek, just like they stole the name Jew, just like they stole the name Israel, just like they stole the name Yehuda, Yehudi, all that stuff y'all think they stole. It's no different. They didn't make anything. Everything they have is stolen. The name that they gave, that was given to them, that they could have quote unquote made, they didn't keep. They changed it. They don't go by Esau. They don't go by Edom. They don't go by Idumea. Those names are hidden in history. Every name they have is a name that they stole. They're not even the first Caucasians. There was people there before them. You stupid nigga. This is all history. You just look up. You could look it up. Type it in. Just like I showed you guys on the class, right? 2 weeks ago, where we literally did the video and we showed you guys how Edomite, white, cracker, pasty-faced barbarians moved into the land of the Aegean between the late 800s, early, 700s, and 600 BC. This when they move from the north into the Aegean. And by the time Philip comes on the scene, which we showed more of, right? We even showed last week in the Peloponnesian War lesson his first ancestor and when he came about. They don't write themselves into history till about 500 BC. So they're not the Greeks. They're just in history as such. Just like there's history as is of Israeli people being Jewish. Or Jews, as we call them today. Right? There's history on it. Does it mean it was the original history? No. But that's what you guys got to realize. History itself isn't all the history. There's levels to it. So I went through and taught you guys about mainstream and alternative. Because there's levels to it. White King James is mainstream history. Black King James is alternative history. But there's only proof for one of them. You understand? One is a whitewashed model, and then there's proof for one of them. Last week, during the Peloponnesian War lesson, we even showed you how the leader of Athens in the Peloponnesian War was a nigga. He was black. I showed you on Chat GPT with sources and a busk, a Roman stone busk of the Negro man with his nose chopped off, and them explaining to you this original busk was painted in bronze. It was bronze colored. It was a bronze busk of this black guy with his full nose intact. And once the Romans took over, they made a whitewashed image of it in Roman white marble. And this is the last remaining depiction of him. Same thing for the leader of the Spartans, who also was black, quote unquote. Right? This is history, historically proven stuff. But y'all missed it. So things we're going to talk about today, y'all might not understand. But for those of you that do follow it, keep watching the videos. For those of you that don't understand it, please go back and watch Milk Monday from the past. Not just last week, but all of the day and night videos, right? The videos we did on the black codes, the videos we did on everything. You got to go back and watch the videos like you've been watching other things. That's the only way you're going to really understand what we're talking about. When you go back after you watch our videos, go watch Ram Gadal so you understand the history that Panay and Yawasap are putting out on this topic. Go and watch the House of Bread so you can see Ariala and them cut up these Negro-lights that y'all like, trying to teach y'all that these Gentiles are Edomites, an actual Goyim. Go watch them in Masada show y'all that that's not true historically and with biblical records, because that's what proves things, right? In Israel, though, y'all like to prove things with who your favorite teacher is and what their words say, as opposed to the facts. We got to get away from that, because that's the reason why this community is ass the way it is. Y'all like favoritism as opposed to factism. That's a word I just made up. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be. Facts over favoritism. But it's not. So we need to get that right. I yield. Let's get back into it. So, Acts 22 and 1. We read that. Give me Acts 26 and 22.
Okay.
Acts 26 and 22. And if somebody else want to hop on here and help him read, one of you brothers that be talking about I can help knock one day, this would be the day to help because we got a lot of precepts and I want to be on here all day. So if y'all free, one of you 29 brothers that might possibly be in the camp, hop on the class, please. Ain't like you doing anything else. Go ahead, knock.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 22 or 26 and verse 22. Having therefore obtained help of God, I continue unto this day, witnessing both to small and great, saying none other than those which the prophets and Moses did say should come, that Christ should suffer, and that he should be the first that should rise from the dead, and should show light unto the people and to the Gentiles.
So what has been understood is the people here obviously are the Israelites, but the Gentiles here, contrary to what the popular people believe in the Christian community, these Gentiles are also Israelites.
That's right.
Right? And again, understanding what Paul said in 22 would explain this, because Paul's not writing in chapters. You feel me? So Acts 26 and Acts 29, Acts 22 and Acts 26 are connected. Hell, and Acts 29. So that's what you have to understand. The first thing, right? So read that one more time, please, Knock.
Count this book of Acts, chapter 26 and verse 22. Having therefore obtained help of God, I continue unto this day, witnessing both to small and great, saying none other things than those which the prophets and Moses did say should come.
That's right.
That Christ should suffer, and that he should be the first that should rise from the dead, and should show light unto the people and to the Gentiles.
Well, see now, not Kowal. That's the thing, right? That we've been trying to teach. The camp we come from taught that this sheep of another fold can only be the Northern Kingdom. What I'm trying to prove to y'all is, yeah, Northern Kingdom is included, but no, not just. Huh? Yeah. He's talking to learned Israelites. Right. We know that. But I'm talking about the Gentiles. That's what this class is about. This is a grafting in class, guys. So follow me here, right? We're not talking about the guys that aren't being grafted in. We're talking about the grafted in people here in this class. Okay? So the Northern Kingdom is the conception in the Israelite community. That's what most would say, right? The Northern Kingdom is who's being spoken about here. You know, you go to John 10 and 16, or that's the sheep of another fold that he has to bring in. Yes, Northern Kingdom. But what y'all also have to understand is there's sheep of another fold from the Southern Kingdom. They're called Greek. That's who Paul was sent to. Paul wasn't sent to the Northern Kingdom.
Right.
You guys lie when you say that.
That's right.
That's what I've been trying to teach you. When I was at SOT teaching, Paul's going to the Northern Kingdom on Milk Monday, 2021, I realized I was lying to you niggas. That's not the truth. Paul had no relationship with the Northern Kingdom except for the tribe of Dan and Asher that was over there in the Greek. Right? If the Shekelesh is Issachar, then they had a relationship with them too. But the niggas in the Greece and the Aegean and the Peloponnese, most of them was the Southern Kingdom. No, most of them. 98%. If we're going to say, we'll say 95, 90. We'll say 90%. Right? After a point. I ain't going to say that much because we can't discount Dan. Dan's the second biggest tribe. A large percent. We'll just go with that, just to be politically correct. A large percent of the people being spoken to in the Peloponnese are not Northern Kingdom. And if they are Northern Kingdom, it's only 3 tribes primarily. One of them mainly, which is Dan.
Right.
Dan, the main tribe from the Northern Kingdom that's being spoken to in the Greek lands. You can say like 92%. Is all yes. Like shit. If we're being honest, right? Dan is like the only tribe, primarily, that's being spoken about like that here. Okay? Everybody else, literally, is southern kingdom if they not from the tribe of Asher? Based on the research we've been able to find, there might be a small group of people that are sea people from Issachar, but like everybody else, Dan, Asher. That's it. So when we're talking about Paul being a prophet that never came to the Americas, right? And we teach that the northern kingdom, via the book of Second Esdras, the book that Columbus used to come to the Americas, or what we call Arzareth, used the book that tells us the majority of the northern kingdom, right, left Assyria and came to a place where no mankind dwelt, which would be Arzareth, the Americas, where we are now, where the both two sticks come together, where we're held fast and they won't let us go, right? Where we serve captivity together for the first time since Egypt. That's supposed to be this place where the northern kingdom went. But if you know about the videos we've been teaching you, everybody from the northern kingdom came here except the tribe of Dan and part of the tribe of Asher, because they were sea peoples. They left before that. Dan didn't get picked up by the Assyrian in the Syrian captivity. There was no tribe of Dan there. You don't read about them. That's why you ignorant black Israelites teach that Dan is absorbed and that they're done away with. It's because you don't see them getting picked up. Y'all didn't do the history before that to find that they left. They didn't get picked up because they left. It's historically documented. And now we've shown it to you. So these are the people that go over there to form the Greek lands. Before they get there, it wasn't called the Greek lands. Javan was called Javan, not Greece. That's why in the Bible, it's not called Greek. It's called Javan. They're not the same. Greek is after we get there. Javan is Japhet. Greek is us. Peloponnese is Japhet. Greek is us. The Dorians and the Danaans were the Greeks. Homer used Greek and Danan synonymously. There was no term for Greek. He called the people we call Greeks Danan. Tribe of Dan. The Egyptians called them Denian because there's no A in their dialect. So these are things we have to understand, right? That we've tried to teach you guys in lessons. So, you know, y'all got to follow the lessons or you're not going to follow the lessons. That's just the way it is. So now let's get to it. Give me Romans chapter 11, verse 15.
God. It's the book of Romans chapter 11 and verse 15. Get the hit up here.
We don't got to put it up there because it's taking too long to do that.
No, I'm reading. It's good.
Oh, okay.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 15. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead?
Okay. So the reconciling of the world, what should the receiving of them be but life from the dead? So reconcile means to bring back. Right? So we all fell away so that we all could be brought back. That's literally how this works. If only a couple of us fell away, wouldn't be a reason for all of us to be allowed back. So all of us fell away for all of us to be reconciled. First thing to understand, who's the people being reconciled, right? Why is it he could just reconcile us? Give me 1 Kings chapter 6 and verse 13. Knock.
6 and verse 13.
Yep.
God. It's the book of 1 Kings chapter 6. And you said 13. And it reads, and I will dwell among the children of Israel and will not forsake my people Israel.
All right. My bad. Ugh. Had to fix my dog. But the Most High will not forsake the Israelites. That's the facts. He'll never forsake them. So That's one thing you got to understand. If they move to another place, that doesn't make them not Israelites no more. Even if they stop calling themselves Israelites, they're still Israelites. According to the promise that the Most High gave us, he can't forsake them, even if they start calling themselves by a different name. So if a bunch of them move to Greece or Javan, and then they're called Danians, and then once Judah come there, knowing they're not from the tribe of Dan, they're like, all right, well, we're going to have to be called something else. Y'all didn't have the Dorian invasion. We ain't going to be Dorian, so what's this going to be? We had a fight. Peloponnesian War. Dan wins. So we Greek. That's what it is. Right? The god, Poseidon. Then when y'all get there, Panah showed how, contrary to what you black Israelites teach, right? Zeus is of the Peloponnesian, pantheon of gods. We brought the Peloponnesian pantheon of gods. Comes from us. They had their own gods, right? That they were using. We made their gods more godlike, if you will, right? We gave them the stance, the template for it. Dan is Poseidon. Right. Judah is Zeus, right? Then there becomes other renditions of them and stuff like that. Then there's women that become powerful, right? So this is stuff we've proven to you guys. Y'all were taught Zeus is Ezeus, Jesus, white man. There's nothing in the history of Greek that proves that. Jesus is a Latin name. Greek and Latin are two different languages. They're not the same. Right? There's a Jupiter. There's a Zeus. There's a Cronus, and there's an Oceanus. There's a Poseidon, and there's a Ocean. So that these are things you got to think about. Where we get these Titans from, and where we get the Olympians from. How is it that the Titans was there before the Olympians, and after the Olympians come in and win, the Olympians end up being the gods? It's the same thing that happens with the Danites and Javan. Dan moves in, Javan loses, Dan becomes the power, right? So this is history that you guys have to learn. Once the tide got flipped, the Israelites that moved over to these areas, they weren't moving back and forth like Israelites. They were moving back and forth to these places knowing that they're, Israelites, but living as Greeks. They had a different culture, different set of lifestyle, different garments they were wearing, right? They came over there and tried to keep certain Israelite customs. They had the Sabbath on a Saturday, Sabbaton. We went over that. We were debunking the lunar Sabbath, right? Because this is stuff that we can see documented that Israelites brought to Greece. And now we see how early the Israelites were bringing this stuff to Greece, right? So if they're celebrating a Sabbaton in Greece on a Saturday, that proves that that's also the same Sabbath day that they were using in Israel, because that's where they got it from. And then there's proof to prove those things, right? So that's what we're doing. We're trying to show you guys how to retrace the steps and prove exactly how the grafting in happened. Starts with the things we've been talking about, though, as far as the AG, because you got to understand how Paul ends up being somebody from Tarshish. Did his family just move there? Or was there other Israelites that were there, which is how he ended up being from there? Was there a mass migration of Israelites in these places? Or did like a couple of families hop on a boat and leave, and then he happened to be part of those couple of families? This is stuff none of you Israelites or your schools or your teachers have ever taught you, but we have. This is stuff you need to know about in order to understand the scope of why there even need to be a grafting in the first place. Because it's much deeper than just, oh, there's Israelites that didn't do what they were supposed to do. There's Israelites that did. There were Israelites that were, circumcised, and Israelites that weren't. And the ones that weren't circumcised, they didn't like the ones that were, and vice versa. So, they had to come. God had to send Jesus to make them all get along. Like, no, nigga. That's what y'all been teaching, but it's much deeper than that. There was mass migrations hundreds of years before Jesus even came on the scene. Hundreds of years before Alexander came on the scene. Hundreds of years before Alexander's white people even moved into the area. We were already migrating to the Aegean, to the Peloponnese, to Javan. In the book of Judges, in the book of Ezekiel, is proving these things. If you guys look into the history, Judges happened a long time ago, very early into the Israelite experience in history. Deborah is in the book of Judges in Deborah's song, talking about how Dan wouldn't get out their ships during the war. And Asher did the same thing. They stayed on the shore. So you literally got these things happening, right? Read that one more time for me, not please. Hold on.
What was that, Cap?
I was trying to tell you, read that thing one more time.
Oh, read it one more time. Yeah, kind what was that? 20? Which one was that again? Salakia.
All right, hold on. It was Romans 11 and 15.
Con, it's the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 15. Con, it is. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead? For if the first, want me to continue?
No, that's it. And then we have 1 Kings 6 and 13, which is he will never forsake us. Give me Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Just skip ahead. So I don't want to read all that.
It's the book of Amos, chapter. You said 3 and 1?
Yep.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1, and it reads, Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Mm-hmm. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. So this is like, okay, God is saying in Amos, he only knows the Israelites. But then y'all are telling us when we get to the New Testament, God changed and he doesn't just know the Israelites anymore. And then Paul's telling you he's an Israelite from Tarshish. And none of y'all ever asked, well, how did Israelites like Paul get to Tarshish? This is why these are things y'all got to study, right? And because y'all don't study them and don't even ask the questions, this is why we have to make classes like this where we teach you guys these things, right? But again, I'm saying it one more time. If we make the history lessons and y'all don't watch the story to find out how brothers like Paul got over there, you're never going to learn it and you'll never understand what the Bible is actually saying. You're just going to keep jumping from whatever the nigga that you watch all the time is saying. And from what we've been telling you, a lot of times they don't know what they're talking about. I've named names, but there's no need to do that right now. But 99% of the people y'all watch don't know what actually is going on in Greece or in the New Testament when it comes to the Gentiles in the Bible. And that's a fact. They think they know, right? But they don't actually know. They don't. They have no idea because they still teach from the standpoint that Greek and Roman are both white people. And if you actually go into history, the first Greeks and the first Romans were Israelites. You guys watch movies where they got like Trojans, like Achilles, and he's always that black English dude with the bald head and the big lips. You know what I'm talking about now?
God, I know you're talking about.
Knock, you must be eating or something. Man, always. All right, let me show you. So, see this black dude right here? This is Achilles, right? They was mad when this movie came out. Y'all remember? Troy, right? 2004. Brad Pitt, huh? These are Trojans, okay? These Trojans were not white people. And historically, they know this. Once again, because they gave you, not that one, Achilles. and he's black. And then in the other movies, when they had like Arthur and they played other movies and stuff like that, where they had to bring out Achilles, it's always the same black guy. Because there's proof of him being a black man now. But Israelites, being people that don't consider themselves historians, y'all don't be into history, none of that stuff, right? 99% of you, that is. Yes, I'm talking about you. Y'all never seem to like ask questions. Why'd they put the black guy in this video back in 2004? Were they just trying to include us? No, nigga, they don't do that. If they put the black guy there, they know it's because they were black people. They put the white folks there to include them. They only put one black guy because they didn't want y'all to catch on. And you never do. It's crazy. You never, ever, ever do. So this is the situation. We got Achilles. He's a black guy. He's a Trojan. The Trojans are from Troy. Troy was a Roman stronghold. The Trojans were the ones that were the people, the same people that made Troy, were the same people that made Sicily, were the same people that were of the Italian band in Italia, Sicily, which is what Cornelius was. So Cornelius is an Israelite, or a man, if you don't want to call him Israelite, from the same damn band as these black Trojan warriors, but y'all want us to believe he's a white guy when everybody else is black. And historically, even in movies in 2004, like Troy, they're showing you these men as such. You Israelites will repeat and regurgitate stuff you heard. Oh, Sicily was made by black people. Yeah, during this time period, you duck monkey. Sicily's old. The original Sicilians were the people that made Troy. They were the Italian band warriors. These are the same people. Cornelius joins a newer version of their band once Christ comes on the scene. This band that Cornelius joined had been a band with that name for centuries. Again, when is, hold on. Hold on. All right. Yeah, exactly. So, Achilles is the central character in Homer's Iliad during the Trojan War. They taught you guys about the Iliad in school, right? And the central character in all of the movies for the Iliad that they taught you about in school is always a black man. This guy, Achilles, would be related to the people that made the Lacedaemonians, the Spartans. When you look at his headdress, the Trojans and the Spartans wore the same helmet. The Trojans was black, the Spartans was red. And eventually the Trojans became red. This is where Rome gets the color red from. It wasn't something they thought about. They stole that too. Their love for red. That wasn't something they just, oh, red. Great. Yes, it matches us. The lentil soup. No, you lying ass nigga. That's not where they got that from. You're a liar. No. They stole that. The Danites chose the color red. The Sea Peoples chose the color purple. Black was a neutral color. Trojans wore it until adopting the color red. Like, these are historical facts. They stole everything, bro. They stole everything. But our folks is like, you know, I don't know. If I talk in my white salesman voice, maybe y'all get it. They stole that too. You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't know what else to do. But like, y'all gotta understand, everything that they got, everything they teach you, everything that they put their name on is stolen. They didn't make or create anything. Okay? So yeah, Achilles is black because the people that made Achilles is black. The story of Achilles is black because the people that the story comes from is black, right? So the dude that Brad was playing in the movie also supposed to be black, just like they made Denzel Marcus Severus, but then his cousin, the guy that killed him in the movie, is a black guy, the gladiator. His last name is Severus too. He's supposed to be black. They're adding the white people in to make them feel comfortable because they think they're from Greece. They think they're the original Romans. They think they're the Greeks. And y'all think so too, but it's a lie. It always was. But in the Maccabees, Jonathan wrote the letter and said, Spartans are our brothers, if I am not mistaken. He definitely did. That's one of the things we've been talking. The Spartans are the Lacedaemonians. That's why you see Lacedaemon or Lacedaemon. That's what Spartan is, right? The Spartans or the Lacedaemonians are people we have told you and proven are the Danites. It's historically documented. That's where Dan went. Dan did not just disappear. They left and went to Greece with two central figures, one named Danaus, one named Calamus. They even got their leaders. They left when Moses left. Moses went north to Israel. Them niggas went south and then left and went to Greece. There was a big exodus and a small exodus. Both are historically proven. Historically documented. We see the tribe of Dan is nowhere to be found, and then they pop up with large numbers when it comes to the counting of the tribes in numbers. They're automatically the second biggest tribe. And then all of a sudden, they start getting land allotments, and the second biggest tribe ain't getting no land. Like they got Joppa. It's because they was moving. They was going back and forth. There was never one group in the Exodus like the rest of y'all. Some of them left and then pulled back up. And we showed the documentation of this by the Egyptians. Panah showed it, and I showed it. So, like, this is stuff y'all have to, at some point, acknowledge. If y'all not going to acknowledge, y'all got to debunk it. One or the other. But it can't just be ignoring it. Because not only is it irritating, it causes everything we teach not to make any sense. Because it don't make sense until you start teaching it the way we're teaching it now. Y'all just try to make it make sense. And can't make certain things make sense without it actually making sense. That's all I'm going to say. So, all right. Mark 16 and 15. Right? Because, because this is something that the Christians will say. They'll bring this up a lot, right? That they're supposed to go into the nations and teach all the, people, right? Go into all the nations and preach the gospel. But it's like, you have to understand, there's a scattering, right? Deuteronomy 28:64, where the Israelites are scattered. So by this time, we didn't have the 28:68 happen, but 64 definitely was going on at this time. Right? The wood was there. The cross. Egypt used the cross, and then the Christians used the cross. The stone comes later, but it came later. So this is what y'all gotta understand about that, man. You know what I mean? It's a gospel that has to be preached, and then it does get preached, but it gets preached into all the nations. Why? Because the nations that are around about Israel at this time, all the nations got Israelites in them. All of them. Go ahead, read that.
God, it's the book of Mark chapter 16. Excuse me. Chapter 16 and verse 15. And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
Mm-hmm. Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every single creature, right? So, oh my God, we have to teach to everybody. Yeah, you can teach the gospel to everybody. I don't mind that, right? The thing is, the gospel even if you teach it to every single creature, does that mean every creature's involved in it or every creature's included? No. If I teach the whole class and I say whoever gets an A on this test gonna get a reward, just because I told the whole class that, does that mean everybody gonna get an A? No. Does that mean the people that don't get an A get a reward just because they heard that the people that get an A get a reward? No. But y'all brains can't seem to work like that. Y'all can't just simplify stuff like that. If we're all in the classroom, but the teacher, which you all should have experience with, tells only a certain number of the kids, like whoever got an A on this test, you're going to dinner with me tonight. And then only 2 kids got an A on the test. It's 28 kids in the classroom. So 26 kids ain't going no damn where. Doesn't matter if they heard it. Same thing in the Bible. So, keep going.
Keep reading.
Yep.
Come. Verse 16. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned.
So stuff like that, right? Go and teach the gospel to all nations. He that believeth shall be saved. He that don't will not. Right? He that's baptized will be saved. He that don't will not. That's not to everybody. It don't matter if everybody heard it. The only people that get the reward is the ones that, did what he said to do. So it's the same thing with our Bible. Well, this is our Bible. Same Bible we read. So it's the same thing throughout the Bible. We'll put it like that, right? The gospel is something that has to be preached to all the nations. Okay, great. Within that gospel, there's a nation amongst all the nations that's getting treated better than all the other nations. Right? That's the Israelites. Read this. Acts chapter 2 and verse 5. Because it tells us to go and teach to all nations. So why would it ask us to teach to all nations? The things you got to think about. Read that.
It's the book of Acts chapter 2. Excuse me. Chapter 2 and verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
Yeah. So there's Jews, devout men under every nation under heaven. And I want to point this out again because one more time, y'all like to point out like the sheep of another fold are automatically Northern Kingdom. They're letting you know it's Jews in every nation under the sun. Y'all know that Jews doesn't include every Israelite, right?
They don't know that, Cap.
I know that a lot of you niggas be trying to, it's 12 tribes of Judah. But no, it's not. Judah's one of the 12 tribes. Okay? One of the 12 tribes. There's 12 tribes. Judah is one of them. So if it says the Jews, it's only at most talking about 3 tribes, and that's if you're talking about the kingdom. If it's saying Jews are in every nation under the sun, it's talking about Jews are in every nation under the sun. Not Israelites are all over the place. Jews. It's specific. Why is it people don't teach it like that? Why do y'all try to make the Northern Kingdom Jews? Don't make no sense. Because the people they were going to in Acts were Jews. You feel me? These were people that were actually Southern Kingdom. Paul gets brought into the scene to bring the word to the people that could have also been Southern Kingdom, but weren't acting like it. Right? And of course, Dan and Asher, because they the sea peoples. But there's folks living amongst the sea peoples, as we saw last week during the Peloponnesian War lesson, that are of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that pull up on the scene. For those of y'all that don't know, they would be called Jews. If some of those Jews from the Southern Kingdom move from Caesarea to Samos or Miletus or Ephesus or Thessaly or Thessalonica or Sparta or Athens, Philippi. They're in the nations, other nations. Hell, all the nations under the sun. They didn't scatter. They've been scattered abroad, right? What y'all don't know is they scattered themselves in them situations. Alexander didn't have a slave trade where he put people on boats and moved the Israelites to the Aegean. We moved ourselves during the Persian Mede captivity because they had systems where it made more sense to move to other places. You'd get more money if you was fighting for this branch of the army and all this other stuff. So Israelites started moving to what made sense, especially since you were able to move kind of free after Cyrus. So by the time a guy like Xerxes is on the scene, Artaxerxes is on the scene, these people are controlling Israelites still, but they're moving freely through the Aegean. We're able to move. Just like Donald Trump controls us, but you can move from Georgia to Tennessee if you want to. Freaking Tallahassee to Oklahoma. You can move. You don't got to ask Donald Trump for permission. He's still going to control you. So that's literally what was happening then. That's where the models come from, this type of control. Cyrus, Darius, Xerxes, and them was doing it. And then once Sparta and Judah take them out, but mainly Sparta, we just got to be honest, that's when the Peloponnesian War happens to try to decide who's going to run the land, Judah or them. We saw in the lesson where, I forget the dude's name, but the guy that was from Judah that pulled up and took over Athens, he's talking to the Spartans, which is Dan, like, yo, we know y'all took out the Persians and Medes, but like, we the big dogs. Y'all know who we are. We are big brothers. You know what I'm saying? We Judah. So if you guys can beat us, we'll allow you guys to reign over all of Greece. But until then, y'all got to bow down. And then they had a fight. That's how it works. So it's like, this is stuff in history y'all have to acknowledge. Without acknowledging this stuff, you don't know why is it that, you know, there were devout men in every nation, but they only talked about Jews, not just any type of Israelite. Because for one, it's not talking about every single nation on the planet at this time. It's talking about every nation that was irrelevant or that was relevant. Because they weren't talking about the Americas. They weren't even talking about Greenland and Scandinavia and Norway in them. They're only talking about the Aegean, the so-called Middle East, those areas, right? That's where civilization was at, in Asia. So, you know, that's that. Then you got First Peter, where they talk about aliens, right? And people that God foreknew, because this is all a foreknowing, right? This is for the people that were from the beginning, the Israelites. You did? Then there's Romans 8:27. I'm going to give y'all these precepts because I don't want him to read these. So you got First Peter 1:1 for Israelites being aliens, right? That God foreknew. And then you got Romans chapter 8, which is Paul again, talking about the Israelites that God foreknew. And Romans 8 is just a couple of chapters before Romans 11, which is where the grafting takes place. Give me John chapter 10 and verse 16. John 10 and 16.
It's the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 16. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
Yeah. Y'all teach that this is the northern kingdom. The sheep he was talking about that he wanted to bring from this fold does include the northern kingdom. But the people he was talking about was the reason why he brought up Paul. Paul was the prophet that was brought up to bring up these sheep from another fold. Does he mean another like group of people? They're from another loin? No, they're still Israelites. What does it mean fold? They're the same cloth. It's like if you take a cloth and you fold it in half, there's one side and there's another side, right? But it's the same damn cloth. It's the same piece of fabric. You understand? One fold goes up in Jerusalem. Folks was Nazareth. You city boys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. From the city. Hood, ghettos, right? High rises, all that type stuff. And then you got the flip side. It's other people. It's like suburbs and country. So you got two folds. You got sheep on both folds. Christ is like, I got folks from the same cloth, but there's another fold I got to bring into this thing. That fold is still the southern kingdom, guys. Yeah, you had to bring northern kingdom in too, but this is talking about the southern kingdom. This is talking about the people in Greece, the Aegean, Ephesus, Miletus, Samo, Corinth. Like, this is southern kingdom people that were brought up as Greeks. That's the fold. That's the other one. That the other fold is Greek. That's how they came up. Again, when you add in Dan and Asher, northern kingdom's included. But the people that Christ is talking about initially aren't like on the other side of earth, like we've taught in the past. This is people just up the street in the water on islands. So
Right.
that's some Israelites got to acknowledge too. All right. So, well, let's get Romans 11. Let's just go ahead and get it, I guess.
Romans 11. Where do you want to start?
Start at verse 1.
Come on. It's the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 1. I say then, hath God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Mm-hmm. Read the verse 8. Just read the verse 8.
Con. Verse 2. God hath not cast away his people which he foreknew. What ye not what the scripture saith of Elias? How he maketh intercession to God against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets, and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men, who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. So, even so, when at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
Mm-hmm.
And if by grace, then is it no more of works? No more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day.
Yeah. That's not your whole northern kingdom.
Mm-mm.
That's majority of the southern kingdom that he's talking about.
That's right.
So he gets a prophet like Paul who they can relate to, so they're not just turning the shoulder to the people on the street corner with them from the southern kingdom, right? That are like supposed to be better than them, and people from Jerusalem that are like, you know, uptight and stuff like that, stuck up and everything, walk in perfect posture and everything like that. Like, these are people that make other Israelites look bad, that aren't on top of their stuff. So regular Israelites, you know, people that don't even call themselves Israelites, of course they get touched by that stuff too. They don't like it. So that's stuff you got to think about in the situations they used to put us in, right? So that's Romans 11, 1-8. Give me verse 10 to verse 23.
It's Romans 11, 10 to 23, Con.
Watch this.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 10. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back alway. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid. But rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness?
Now, what you got to understand, Jews is Jews, but Gentiles is the northern kingdom.
God.
They're the ones being brought back and given a chance to do stuff that they shouldn't have gotten before. The Jews that he was talking about was the southern kingdom, the ones that been kind of doing the work before. Nobody ever had to tell them to leave people alone and all that stuff. Right? Go ahead.
God. Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? For I speak to you Gentiles, and as much as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead?
Yeah, what should the receiving of them be but life from the dead? Right? So, what verse you on?
Verse 16.
So, like, we see so far, Israelites are here. We're not getting cut off. He's talking to Israelites from his people, which is he's the southern kingdom Israelite from Tarshish. So he's a southern kingdomer from the Aegean. And he's letting them know that, you know, we have a God, and everything that our God told us to do, as long as we do it, we'll be rewarded for it, basically. And that there's other Israelites that are in the same situation that are going to get the same type of thing. So it's like we have sheep that are not of this fold, and then there's an Israelite that's given to those sheep to be able to teach them how to become part of the fold again. Right? Keep going.
God, verse 16. For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy.
And then you got Paul, who, yeah, he was bad as Saul, but as Paul, he's supposed to be holy. So go ahead. He's a new man.
God.
Keep going.
For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy.
Mm-hmm.
And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
Yep.
And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, wert graft in among them, and with them partakest of the root and fatness of the olive tree. Boast not against the branches. But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee.
You see? So certain things we can't even boast about when it comes to like salvation and things we know we're supposed to be getting and stuff like that. Because even though you might know you're supposed to be getting some stuff, don't mean you're going to get it. You know? Keep going.
God.
How many more verses you got?
How many? Say that again. How many what?
How many verses do you have?
Oh, I'm at verse. I guess you started.
I wanted you to read the verse 23.
Yeah. So I'm at 20. I'm at verse 18. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm gonna start. Yeah. I'm gonna start at 18 and going down to 23.
Okay.
This is Romans 11 and 18. Boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. What thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off, and thou standest by faith.
So
be not.
So the people that were broken off because of unbelief, which means they were foreknown before, and then had to be told something or had to did something to show that they don't believe what they were told, which is then why they got cut off. It's letting you know that they even get to come back. So like for y'all Israelites that talk about Dan, but then talked about a grafting in the whole time, but never said Dan get to come back, you're an idiot. That's literally the position that they in. Same thing that we just read here in Romans 11 is the situation that folks is in right now. Go ahead.
Verse 19.
Right.
Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. For if God spared not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee. Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of God. On them which fell severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness, otherwise thou also shalt be cut off. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. For God is able to graft them in again.
So if you abide not still in unbelief, because unbelief is what made them get cut off in the first place, God can graft them back in again. So the Israelites, because they literally were there at the beginning, they got cut off, and now he's saying if they believe, they can be put back where they was at again, where they got cut off from. It's that simple. Okay, so that simple, guys. It's not difficult at all. Not at all. You got Ezekiel 14 and 22. You don't got to read it, but talks about, the remnant of us being who the Most High is pleased with. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? And then the things I was telling y'all earlier about Israel being in all nations with Deuteronomy 28:64, James 1:1, 1 Peter 1:1, Acts 2 and 5, which we read. Brothers was bringing up the Maccabees. You could read 2 Maccabees 6 and 6, talk about how we lost our identity against the fake Greeks, right? After they took the name from us and everything like that. 1 Corinthians 12 and 2, us being carried away into dumb idols as we were led, right? Jeremiah 17 and 4 and Jeremiah 50 and 6, the lost sheep. So, which is who Christ was coming for, right? In Matthew 15:24, which also brings more credence to the grafting in and the foreknowledge and all that type of stuff, right? So these are all things that we have to acknowledge as Israelites that a lot of y'all don't want to acknowledge, that a lot of y'all don't teach, and that's a shame. So there's a lot of the scriptures we could have got into, like how, they say that the Israelites had people all throughout the Aegean and stuff just ready to jump on folks and everything, and it's not even like that. So Matthew 4 and 15, you got, Israelites in places like Galilee from the northern kingdom and everything like that, right? Acts chapter 5 verse 31, repentance for Israel. All these different things, man. I'm just looking at it like I'm not gonna read all this stuff tonight, but this is all stuff that y'all can add to y'all notes since I'm telling it to y'all. You feel me? So, but yeah, man, that's just stuff that I was gonna bring out if I wanted to bring out for later on and stuff pertaining to this class, but it's not nothing important that I need to give out for the lesson. So we probably gonna yield it here. But the main thing I wanted to do is just make sure I understand, right? In fact, give me John chapter 3, 7:35. But bring it out in the New Living Translation if you can, before we close out. Because I want to bring this out and let y'all see. But main thing I want y'all to take away from this lesson, man, is that the grafting in is not as simple as like, okay, there's Israelites that need to be grafted in because they fell off the tree or whatever. Like, no, it's a lot deeper than that. And the reason it even had to be happen, or the reason it had to happen the way that it happened, is because there were already Israelites in Greece living as Greeks. It's not because of Alexander and Ptolemy forcing them to be, Greek, not letting them keep their birthday and call themselves Israelites and keep the Sabbath. That had nothing to do with it. That all that stuff is later. This is before that, what I'm trying to tell y'all. How he even got there. And they didn't have to do no fighting for us because we were already Greek. So, yeah, man. What I asked you to get? You remember you on mute.
Oh, Slakia. This is the book of John 7:35 in the NLT. And look like we froze again.
Oop.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, my screen froze, so I can't. Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, well, let me see.
Hold on 1 second. All right, here we go. If
All
you
right.
can hear me, then I'll just keep going.
Yeah, we hear you.
It's the book of John 7:35 in the New Living Translation. It says, the Jewish leaders were puzzled by this statement. Where is he planning to go? They asked. Is he thinking of leaving the country and going to the Jews in other lands?
So wait,
Maybe-
first thing I gotta understand. First thing they think about is Jews in other lands, not oh, he's going to the Jews in places where Jews are at. You know, he's going to the Jews in places where it's nothing but Gentile. He's going to the Gentiles that call themselves Jews. No, he's going to the Jews in other lands because it's already known that we're not in freaking Israel, guys. A lot of us are already scattered by this time. So he's just gonna go to the Jews in Israel? Like, is that what is that? He just can't tell us he about to dip out? Because brothers is gone. They left. They're not there. Go ahead.
John, it says, is he thinking of leaving the country and going to the Jews in other lands? Maybe he will even teach the Greeks.
What?
Maybe he will even teach the Greeks.
Yeah, because it was known that the Greeks was the Israelites. The Greeks is Dan. Why don't you want to teach the Greeks? Because, well, Hosea told us to leave him alone. Dan was found to have all the heathen shrines in 1st and 2nd Kings and stuff. So why you want to go deal with them people?
Right.
They still are brothers. They still get right to the tree if they do what they're supposed to do. Right? Most High accept their repentance. He's a rat. So y'all gotta keep that in mind.
Right.
That's really all I got. I got a lot more, but I don't want to be. I feel sick. I don't feel like doing this all night.
God. No, that was smooth and easy to digest. It's not too hard.
Yeah, hope y'all understood it. If you didn't leave a comment, we'll try to answer it.
To do, the doctrine of the Jews are all 12 tribes is another issue. So I'm glad that Cap brought this out like this to distinguish the two. Because that's a huge issue right there. That's even among our own people. We got to realize that, there's two different parts going on that are to come back together as one, right? So all praise to the Most High. Hope everybody got something out of this. If not, come back, take notes, come back to the class, watch it in a later time, and get some of the precepts that were brought out.
And please watch the other classes. Watch the other classes, not just the ones I did, but everybody's stuff.
Right, because we got other classes. There's a plethora. The classes on the Greeks and the Danites and everything in between that is stacking up. So you will have no excuse when it comes to knowing things, not just scripturally, but being able to actually identify that outside of the biblical narrative, meaning everything lines up, right, with these other nations and their own documentations, right? You just got to know how to look it up, right, and where to find it.
And that's what we're trying to show you.
Right.
How to look it up and where to find it.
So let me see. I think a few other people came in. I'm gonna give some shout outs real quick. Then we go ahead and get y'all out of here. Shalom to minority 144. Shalom to Jay Wick. Shalom to Sister Apariana. Shalom to the mighty brother Nazar. Shalom to the mighty officer Keziah Salakia. Shalom to A Rich. Also shalom to Amram Israel. Shalom to the mighty soldier Yaquab. Malak Eleazar. Shalom to you and that brother, the mighty brother Octaves. Shalom. Let me see if there's anybody else. I don't see anybody else in the chat. So, yeah, that's about it. So, just a reminder, any brother who may want to do the work with the Anointed House of Saints, you can do so by sending us your interest through email at anointedhos@gmail.com. All right. Make sure you leave your name, number, your city and state where you live, right? And also in the description, put prospect phase, and we'll get that information. Once we start a new prospect class, we will get that information to you. Also, sisters, we are currently building and putting together, and actually we have sisters putting together a sisters ministry with AHOS. Any sisters who want to participate or help with that ministry, please let us know through email, anointedhos@gmail.com. I think that's about it. Hey, I pray that everybody continues to have a blessed rest of the Passover, our memorial of the Passover this week. I don't have anything other to say other than get Daniel 7 and 9 real quick. Let me pull that up real fast, and then we can let y'all get on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Passover week and the week period, right? For those who are recognizing Passover right now. This is the book of Daniel. No, I can't. Oh, I'm using my laptop here. Slock it. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. Come on. And it reads, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. By Shem, Mashiach Yahawashi." I want to thank you guys for always being with us. And make sure you stay tuned in and lined up for the classes coming through the week. There will be a new class coming out on Wednesdays. AHOS will have a new class on Wednesdays coming very shortly. That was promised to you guys after Passover. So it will be coming up in the next few weeks. Be looking out for that. Also, our classes through the week, our Thursday night classes, Friday night classes, coming back at you with Saturday morning brew, and then back around to Captain Elio with Milk Monday. So please mark your calendars, hit your notification bell so you don't miss those classes coming up. All right. So I want to say God bless everyone. Thank you again. This is Captain Knock, and we are the Anointed. We are I say it the right way. We are the Anointed House of Saints. Until next time, Shalom.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music, black music, black music, black music.